Red suit, white beard, and the ho ho ho. We all grow up with the same Santa Claus image. The same one we still pass on to our children every December. But what if I told you the real Santa didn't come from the North Pole or anywhere snowy at all? He came from Turkey. Yes, warm, sunny Turkey. And he wasn't carrying toys, he was carrying gold. Stay till the end. The truth behind Santa is nothing like what we were taught. Hey, I am Reem, and today on Request we are traveling back 1,700 years to meet the real man behind Santa Claus. Our story begins in southern Turkey, in a Roman coastal town called Patara, around 270 AD. His name was Nicholas, not an elf or a toy maker, a real bishop who later moved to Myra, which is located now in modern Demre. But why does this man matter today? Because Nicholas was known for something rare even in our time: helping quietly, giving anonymously, defending anyone with no power. His legend and the entire gift giving tradition our kids wait for truly begin with one secret act of charity. To understand how Santa began, imagine this. A poor father in Myra had three daughters, no dowries, no future, no safety. Nicholas hears the story and instead of announcing himself, he does the opposite. Late at night, on 3 different days, he walks to their window and tosses bags of gold inside. Some versions say the gold landed in socks or shoes drying near the fire. And honestly, when I read the details for the first time, I smiled because it suddenly felt like the Santa story we tell kids today. A man leaving gifts secretly at night, that's the spark that lit a legend, that became the Santa tradition we still live today. So, how did a Mediterranean bishop turn into the Santa our kids see in movies and wait for each year? Here's its journey, simple and clear, that took 1,600 years, several continents, and a lot of creativity and marketing. Dutch sailors loved St. Nicholas and called him Sinterklaas. He was already known for protecting children and traveling on horseback. Dutch settlers brought Sinterklaas to New York. Americans heard the name and turned it into Santa Claus. And to understand Santa's design, here's the timeline. 1809. Washington Irving writes stories describing St. Nicholas as a magical figure who flies above the city. 1823. Clement Clark Moore publishes A Visit from St. Nicholas, introduces the sleigh, the chimney, and the 8 original reindeer. This poem became the blueprint of modern Santa. 1860. Thomas Nast, German-American cartoonist, draws Santa as big and round, with a huge white beard, living at the North Pole, with a toy workshop. These drawings began the visual identity of Santa. 1830. Coca-Cola uses Santa in winter ads, giving him the final global look: red suit, white fur, and a joyful expression. The version we see everywhere today. So the modern Santa? A Turkish saint redesigned by Dutch tradition, rebuilt by American writers and artists, and finalized by a soda company. And here's the part almost no one talks about. St. Nicholas' original tomb is still in Demre, Turkey. You can literally walk into the place where he was first buried. It stayed untouched for nearly 700 years. But in 1087, during political chaos, merchants from Bari, Italy raided his tomb and took most of his bones. So today, part of Santa is in Turkey, part of Santa is in Italy, and both countries still argue over who owns the real Saint Nicholas. Around the world, his name might changing. Papa Noel in France, Did Moros in Russia, but the heart of the story stayed the same. So the next time someone says Santa is from the North Pole, you can tell them he came from warm beaches, olive trees, and the Mediterranean, not snowstorms. And you, what's your favorite Santa story or family memory related to him? Tell me in the comments. If you're still here, you are my kind of traveler, the curious ones who love a story hidden behind the places. So, subscribe, and I will see you in the next story.